I don't get why everyone freaked out. I seriously, genuinely, completely, utterly don't understand why this became such a massive, dramatic, world-ending, apocalyptic situation. It was literally a game. A game. Truth or dare. You know that game? The same game people have been playing at parties since we were teenagers, since middle school, since forever. The same game that's been responsible for countless stupid decisions and embarrassing moments that everyone laughs about later and turns into funny stories. The game where people do ridiculous things specifically because they're dares, and that's the whole point. But apparently, when I play along, when I actually commit to the dare instead of chickening out like everyone else always does, suddenly I'm the villain. Suddenly I'm the bad guy. Suddenly I'm the one who ruined everything. It was truth or dare, not cheating, not an affair, not me sneaking around behind my husband's back, having some secret relationship. It was a dare given to me during a party game with a room full of people watching, in front of witnesses, with my husband literally sitting in the next room. How is that cheating? How is that betrayal? How is that anything other than what it was, participating in a game? It's a game. Games have rules. Games have structure. One of those fundamental rules is that you have to complete your dare or you lose. You look like a coward. You look like you can't handle it. And I don't lose at games. I never have. I'm competitive. I follow through. That's who I am. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. I didn't even intend to send the pics to his best friend originally. That wasn't my grand plan for the evening. That wasn't something I woke up that morning wanting to do or planning to do. The dare was given to me. Someone else came up with it. Someone else thought it would be funny, thought it would be entertaining, thought it would make the game more interesting. I was just playing along. I was just being a good sport. I was just showing everyone that I'm fun and cool, and not some uptight, boring, prudish person who refuses to participate in party games because they're too worried about what people might think. And my husband should have defended me instead of acting like a complete psycho. That's what partners are supposed to do. They have each other's backs. They stand up for each other. They protect each other from outside judgment and criticism. They don't blow things out of proportion and turn one harmless moment into a full-scale crisis that destroys everything. But instead of laughing it off or telling everyone to relax or saying, "It's just a game, guys, calm down," he made it into this huge dramatic thing and humiliated me in ways I'm still trying to process, still trying to understand, still having nightmares about. Guys are always bragging about stupid dares. Always. Without exception. I've watched men at parties do the absolute dumbest, most embarrassing, most ridiculous things because someone dared them to, and everyone treats them like legends, like heroes, like they're so brave and fun for following through. I've seen them kiss random people, sometimes multiple people in one night. I've seen them take off their shirts and parade around. I've seen them chug disgusting concoctions made of every alcohol in the house mixed together. I've seen them post embarrassing things on social media, call their exes, do humiliating dances, streak through neighborhoods, all because of dares. All because someone said, "I dare you," and they said, "Okay," and then they did it. And everyone laughs, everyone cheers, everyone calls them legends, and says they're so cool and so fun and such good sports for playing along. The videos get posted, the photos get shared, the stories get told over and over at future parties. Remember that time Dave did that crazy dare? And Dave gets to be the hero of that story forever. But when a girl plays along, when a woman actually has the confidence and the guts to complete a dare instead of backing down, when a woman shows that she's fun and cool and not afraid of looking silly or vulnerable, everyone loses their minds. Suddenly it's crossing lines and disrespecting the relationship and violating boundaries and all this dramatic nonsense that never gets applied to men doing the exact same thing. The double standard is insane. Absolutely, completely, mind-blowingly insane. It's 2024 and we're still living in this world where men get to be fun and adventurous and women have to be perfect and proper and never do anything that might make anyone uncomfortable. And for the record, because I know people are going to blow this out of proportion too, I didn't even show anything important in those pictures. They were just suggestive, flirty, a little bit sexy but nothing explicit, nothing pornographic, nothing that you wouldn't see in a Victoria's Secret catalogue or on Instagram or in a magazine at the grocery store checkout or on literally any beach in America during summer. I was wearing lingerie, yes, but lingerie is just fancy underwear. It covers everything important. So, why is everyone acting like I sent pornography? Why is everyone treating this like I committed some heinous crime? It's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Whatever. I didn't deserve what happened next. I didn't deserve to have my privacy violated and my life destroyed and my marriage ended over a stupid party game that was supposed to be fun. And anyone who thinks I did is being completely, totally unreasonable and judgmental and probably has their own issues with women expressing confidence and sexuality. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. Now, let me tell you how one dare at a party turned into the worst night of my entire life. It was a Saturday night about 3 weeks ago. My husband, let's call him Ryan, though I'm certainly not using his actual name after what he did to me, and I were hosting a game night at our apartment. Nothing fancy, nothing unusual, just a casual get-together with friends like we'd done dozens of times before. We had about 15 people there. Ryan's best friend Jake and Jake's girlfriend Maya, a few of Ryan's co-workers, some of my friends from work, our neighbours from the apartment down the hall, my sister-in-law Claire, just a mix of people from different parts of our lives, all hanging out together, drinking, eating snacks, playing games. We'd started with some board games, Cards Against Humanity, code names, the usual party game rotation. Everyone was having fun, laughing, getting progressively drunker as the night went on. The energy was good, relaxed, fun. Around 11 o'clock, someone, I think it was Maya actually, though she's denying it now, suggested we play Truth or Dare. And everyone agreed, because by that point we were all drunk enough that it sounded like a great idea, instead of the middle school activity it actually was. The game started innocently enough. Standard dares. I dare you to text your ex. I dare you to post an embarrassing photo on Instagram. Truth. Who in this room would you most want to kiss? Nothing too crazy. Nothing that crossed any real lines. But as the game went on and people got drunker, the dares started getting more daring, more provocative, more designed to push boundaries and make people uncomfortable in that fun party game way. Ryan had to do a body shot off one of his female co-workers. Maya had to kiss Jake's hand sensually for 30 seconds. One of the neighbours had to give a lap dance to their spouse. It was all getting pretty spicy, but everyone was laughing and no one was taking it seriously because it was just a game. And then it was my turn. Truth or dare? Jake asked me with this mischievous grin. I'd already picked truth twice earlier in the game. I didn't want to seem boring or scared, so I said, dare. And Jake, who I'd always thought was cool, who I'd always gotten along with, who Ryan trusted completely, said, I dare you to send me your hottest photo from your phone. The room got quiet for a second. People exchanged glances. Someone giggled nervously. That's crossing a line, Ryan said immediately, his voice tight. But Maya, Jake's own girlfriend, laughed and said, Oh, come on, it's just a dare. Don't be boring. And a few other people chimed in, saying it was fine, it was just a game. Ryan needed to lighten up. So I made a decision. I decided to prove that I was confident and fun and not afraid of a stupid dare. I decided to show everyone that I could play along without making it weird. Fine, I said, grabbing my phone. Give me a second. Ryan's face darkened. Don't. But I ignored him, because everyone else was encouraging me, because I wanted to prove I could handle it, because I was drunk and confident and not thinking clearly about consequences. I went to my photos, found one of the photos I'd taken a few months ago, just for myself, not for anyone else, just because I was feeling good about my body and wanted to document it. It was me in lingerie, nothing explicit, but definitely sexy. Definitely more revealing than anything I'd want my husband's best friend to see under normal circumstances. But these weren't normal circumstances. This was a dare. This was a game. This was supposed to be fun. I sent it to Jake with the message, "There. Dare completed, don't show him." The don't show him part was meant to be a joke. Like, obviously Jake wasn't going to show Ryan the photo. Obviously this was just between us as part of the game. Obviously it was all in good fun. I looked up at Ryan and smiled. Done. His face was completely blank. No expression. Just staring at me. "What did you send?" he asked quietly. "Just a picture." That's what the dare was. "What kind of picture?" "Does it matter? I completed the dare. That's the point of the game." Jake's phone buzzed. He looked at it. His eyes went wide. He immediately locked the screen and shoved the phone in his pocket, his face going red. Maya looked at him suspiciously. "What did she send you?" "Nothing," Jake said quickly. Too quickly. "It's fine, it's just a dare." But Ryan knew. I could see it on his face. He knew it was something he wouldn't like, something that crossed a line. "Game night is over," Ryan said suddenly, standing up. Everyone looked confused. "What? Why?" someone asked. "Everyone needs to leave. Now." The room went silent, awkward, uncomfortable. "Ryan, you're being ridiculous," I said, laughing nervously. "It was just a dare. Stop being so dramatic." But he wasn't looking at me. He was looking at Jake with this expression I'd never seen before. Cold, hard, dangerous. "Get out," Ryan said. "All of you, get out of my house." People started gathering their things, confused and uncomfortable, whispering to each other about what just happened. The party that had been so fun just minutes ago was now completely ruined, the energy shattered. But before anyone could leave, Ryan turned to me and extended his hand. "Give me your phone." My stomach dropped. "What? No, that's my phone." "Give me your phone." His voice was so calm it was terrifying, like the calm before a storm, like something horrible was about to happen. "Ryan, you're making a scene." "Now." I'd never heard him use that tone with me before. Never. It scared me enough that I handed over my phone with shaking hands. He unlocked it. He knew my password. We'd always been open about that. And went straight to my messages. Found the conversation with Jake. Opened the photo I'd sent. His face went completely white, then red, then white again. He looked at the photo for a long moment. Then he looked at me. "This is what you sent him." His voice was quiet, too quiet. "This is what you consider an appropriate dare. It was just a game." "This photo," he interrupted, turning the phone around so I could see the screen, "is you, in lingerie, in our bedroom, looking like you're trying to seduce whoever's looking at it." "I wasn't trying to seduce anyone, it's just a photo." He looked at Jake, who was standing frozen by the door, his girlfriend Maya glaring at him with her arms crossed. "Did you ask for this?" Ryan asked him. "It was a dare," Jake stammered. "It was just part of the game. I didn't mean—" "Did you know she'd send something like this?" "I didn't know what she'd send. I just thought it would be funny. I thought she'd send like a selfie or something." Ryan laughed, but it wasn't a real laugh. It was this bitter, broken sound. "You thought my wife sending you her hottest photo would be funny?" "Dude, I'm sorry. Save it." Ryan cut him off. "I don't want to hear it." He turned back to me, still holding my phone. You really picked this dare? He asked. Out of all the ways you could have handled that situation, you decided to send a photo like this to my best friend. Everyone was encouraging me. Maya said it was fine. You're the only one who has a problem with it. Because I'm the only one married to you, he shouted, finally losing that terrifying calm. Because I'm the only one who has to deal with the fact that my wife just sent a half-naked photo of herself to another man. It was a dare. I don't care, he yelled. I don't care if it was a dare. I don't care if everyone in this room told you it was fine. You're my wife. You don't send photos like that to other men. You don't send photos like that to my best friend. The room was completely silent now. Everyone watching. Everyone witnessing our fight. You're overreacting, I said, my voice shaking. He looked at me for a long moment. Then something in his expression shifted. The anger disappeared, replaced by something colder, something calculated. You think I'm overreacting? He asked quietly. Yes, it's just a photo. It's not like I cheated on you. He nodded slowly. Okay, if it's just a photo, and it doesn't mean anything, then you won't mind if I share it. My blood went cold. What? Ryan walked into the living room where all our friends were still gathered, frozen in this terrible, awkward shock, not sure whether to leave or stay, or what to do in this horrible, uncomfortable situation that had gone from fun party to relationship catastrophe in the span of minutes. He held up my phone, my private property that he'd taken from me, and said loud enough for everyone to hear. Since my wife thinks sharing spicy photos is just harmless fun, since she thinks it's perfectly acceptable to send intimate pictures of herself to other men as long as it's part of a game, I'm going to make sure everyone gets to enjoy them. I'm going to share the fun. My stomach dropped. My blood turned to ice. Ryan, don't, I screamed, running after him, trying to grab my phone back. But it was too late. He was already tapping the screen. Once, twice, 3 times. Rapid taps like he was sending multiple messages to multiple people. I heard the whoosh sound, that terrible final whoosh sound of messages being sent. Multiple messages, sent to multiple people, sent to everyone. And then, everyone's phone started buzzing. All at once, all at exactly the same moment. A chorus of notification sounds, filling the room like some kind of horrible symphony of my destruction. Buzz, 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 buzz. People pulled out their phones slowly, hesitantly, looking confused about why they were all getting messages at the same time. Looked at their screens. Their eyes went wide. Their mouths fell open. Some people gasped. One person whispered, "Oh my God." They were all seeing it. All of them. Every single person in that room. The photo I'd sent to Jake, the lingerie photo, the sexy, flirty, carefully curated photo that was supposed to be just between me and Jake as part of a stupid dare that would be over and forgotten in 5 minutes. But now everyone had it. Everyone at the party. All of Ryan's co-workers, 3 of them who I had to see at company events. All of my friends who I'd invited. Our neighbors from down the hall who we saw every single day. My sister-in-law Claire, who was Ryan's older sister and had always been protective of him, who was looking at her phone with her mouth hanging open in absolute shock and disbelief. "What are you doing?" I screamed, my voice coming out shrill and panicked and desperate. I tried to grab my phone from him, but he held it out of my reach, held it up high where I couldn't get it, even though I was jumping and reaching and probably looking absolutely pathetic. "You sent this to my best friend," he said, his voice carrying through the now silent room. Every single person listening to us, watching us, witnessing this nightmare. "Clearly you're fine with an audience. Clearly you don't care who sees you like this. I'm just making sure everyone gets to enjoy the same joke that you and Jake were sharing." The humiliation hit me like a physical blow, like being punched in the stomach by someone much stronger than me, like being pushed off a cliff and falling with no way to stop. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, could only stand there in the middle of the living room and watch as everyone in the room, every single person I knew and cared about and had to see on a regular basis, stared at their phones, then at me, then back at their phones, then at me again. Maya, Jake's girlfriend, let out this choked, broken sob. Her hands were shaking as she looked at her phone, as she saw the photo I'd sent to her boyfriend, the boyfriend she loved and trusted and thought was faithful. She looked at me with such hatred, such pure disgust, that I felt it like acid on my skin. Then she threw her phone on the couch, ran toward the door, pushed past people who tried to stop her. "Maya, wait!" Jake called, running after her, reaching for her arm. She spun around and slapped him, hard. The sound echoed through the silent apartment. "Don't touch me! Don't ever touch me again! We're done!" And then she was gone, running down the hallway, her sobs echoing back to us. Jake stood there for a moment, his face red where she'd hit him, looking between me and Ryan and the door Maya had just run through. Then he ran after her, calling her name, desperate and pathetic and completely futile, because anyone could see she was done with him forever. My sister-in-law Claire was still staring at her phone. Then she looked up at me with an expression I'd never seen from her before, pure contempt, like I was something disgusting she'd found on the bottom of her shoe. "You sent that to Jake?" she asked, her voice cold. "To Ryan's best friend? While his girlfriend was sitting right here in this room with us? While we were all having fun together?" "It was a dare," I insisted desperately, hearing how weak that sounded even as I said it. "It was just a game. Everyone was playing." "It's disgusting," Claire said flatly. "You're disgusting. I always thought you were a little too flirty, a little too inappropriate, but I gave you the benefit of the doubt because Ryan loved you. But this is beyond anything I could have imagined. You're not welcome at family events anymore. You're not welcome around me. And if Ryan has any sense, you won't be welcome here either." She grabbed her coat and purse and walked out without another word. One of Ryan's co-workers, Mark, I think his name was, a guy I'd met a few times at company happy hours, was shaking his head slowly, looking at Ryan with genuine sympathy. "Wow, man, that's rough. I'm really sorry. That's betrayal." Someone else, I don't even know who, one of the neighbors maybe, whispered to the person next to them but loud enough that I could hear. "She sent that to his best friend, with a winky emoji, while everyone was here. What the hell was she thinking?" Another voice, also whispering but also loud enough. "I heard she told him not to show Ryan, like it was supposed to be a secret between them." "That's basically cheating. That is cheating. Poor Ryan. Poor Maya." I felt like I was going to throw up, or pass out, or both. The room was spinning. My face was burning with shame so intense it was physically painful. Everyone was looking at me. Everyone was judging me. Everyone had seen me in my most private, vulnerable state. Everyone had seen a photo that was supposed to be mine, under my control, shared only with people I chose to share it with. But now it was everywhere, in everyone's phone, subject to everyone's judgment, forever saved in devices I couldn't access, couldn't delete from, couldn't control. "Get out!" I screamed at everyone, my voice breaking, tears streaming down my face. "All of you, get out! Stop looking at me! Stop looking at your phones! Delete that right now!" But they didn't need to be told to leave. People were already moving toward the door, grabbing their coats and bags, desperate to escape the nightmare our apartment had become. Some of them were still looking at their phones as they left. Some of them were already texting other people, probably sending my photo even further, spreading it beyond the people who'd been at the party. Within 2 minutes, maybe less, everyone was gone except Ryan and me, and the silence that filled the apartment was deafening, heavy, suffocating. I stood in the living room, shaking, tears streaming down my face, trying to process what had just happened. "How could you do that?" I whispered. "How could you humiliate me like that?" Ryan laughed, that same bitter, broken laugh from before. "How could I? How could you? You sent that photo to Jake, to my best friend." "It was a dare. I've said that 1,000 times. It was just part of the game." "I don't care if it was a dare," he yelled. "Stop saying that like it makes it okay. Stop acting like it was a dare. is some magic phrase that erases what you did. Then what was I supposed to do? Refuse and look like a coward? Yes, he shouted. Yes, you were supposed to refuse. You were supposed to say that crosses a line and pick truth instead. You were supposed to prioritize our marriage over looking cool at a party. Everyone else was doing dares just as bad. No one else sent half-naked photos of themselves to someone else's spouse. We stood there glaring at each other, both of us breathing hard, both of us too angry to think clearly. And then Ryan turned and walked toward our bedroom. "Where are you going?" I called after him. He didn't answer. I heard the closet door open, heard him moving things around. I followed him and froze in the doorway. He was pulling my suitcase out of the closet, the big one I used for long trips. He threw it on the bed and unzipped it. "What are you doing?" I asked, my voice coming out small and scared. "Packing your things," he said calmly. Too calmly. "You can't kick me out. This is my apartment too. Actually, it's my apartment, my name on the lease. You moved in with me, remember?" That was true. I'd moved in with him 8 months ago, but had never gotten officially added to the lease because we kept saying we'd do it later, and then never did. "Ryan, please," I begged, watching him pull clothes out of my dresser and throw them into the suitcase. "Please don't do this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have sent that photo. I should have refused the dare." "You're right. I was wrong. Please." He kept packing, didn't even look at me, just systematically removing all my belongings from our shared space. "Stop," I cried, grabbing his arm. "Please stop. You're ruining my life." He finally stopped, turned to look at me. His eyes were red. I realized he was on the verge of tears. "I'm ruining your life?" he asked quietly. "You sent a photo of yourself in lingerie to my best friend, while I was in the next room, during a party at our apartment, with his girlfriend sitting right there. You humiliated me. You humiliated Maya. You humiliated yourself. And you're acting like I'm the bad guy for being upset about it. You sent that photo to everyone we know. Because you seemed to think it was no big deal," he shouted. "If it was just a harmless game, if it didn't mean anything, then why do you care who sees it?" I didn't have an answer to that. He zipped up the suitcase. It was full. He went back to the closet and pulled out another one. Started filling that one too. "Truth or dare, right?" he said as he worked. "Here's a dare for you. Go explain to everyone why you thought sending those pictures was appropriate. Go explain to Maya why you sent her boyfriend sexy photos as a joke. Go explain to Claire why you disrespected me in front of my entire family and friend group." "I can't," I sobbed. "They all hate me now." "Yeah," he said flatly. "They do." He finished packing the second suitcase, carried both of them to the front door, set them down next to my shoes and coat. "No," I whispered. "Please. Ryan, please. I love you. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. You can't end our relationship over this." "Watch me," he said. As Ryan was literally pushing me toward the door, as I was still crying and begging and trying to figure out how to fix this, there was a knock. Ryan opened the door. Jake was standing there, looking terrible. His eyes were red. His hair was a mess. He looked like he'd been crying. "Maya broke up with me," he said, his voice cracking. "Because of that photo. She says she can't trust me anymore." "Good," Ryan said coldly. "You shouldn't have participated in that dare." "I deleted the photo," Jake said desperately. "As soon as everything went crazy, I deleted it. I don't want any trouble. I don't want this to ruin our friendship." Ryan laughed. That bitter laugh again. Our friendship is over. "You asked my wife to send you her hottest photo. She did. You accepted it. You looked at it. You violated every rule of friendship that exists." "It was a game," Jake protested. "I don't care," Ryan said. "Everyone keeps saying that like it matters. It doesn't. Games have consequences. This is yours." He turned to me, standing there with my suitcases. "You want to send spicy pics to other men?" he said. "Fine. Go live with one. Jake, she's your problem now." He tried to hand my suitcase to Jake. "What? No!" Jake backed away like the suitcase was on fire. I don't want her. Dude, please, this is crazy. Too late, Ryan said. You two already crossed the line. Might as well commit to it. Stop saying that, I screamed. Nothing happened. We didn't do anything. It was just a photo, just one photo sent during a dare. But Ryan wasn't listening to me. He was still looking at Jake with complete contempt. Get her out of here, Ryan said. I don't care where she goes. Just away from me. Jake held up his hands. I'm not taking her anywhere. This is between you two. I'm just here to apologize and try to... Apology not accepted, Ryan interrupted. Now leave, both of you. He stepped back and started closing the door. I tried to push past him, to get back inside, but he blocked me with his body. Ryan, please, I sobbed. Where am I supposed to go? Not my problem, he said, and he closed the door, right in my face. I heard the lock click, heard the deadbolt slide into place. I stood there in the hallway outside our apartment, my apartment, the home I'd been living in for 8 months, with my 2 suitcases, completely alone, while Jake stood awkwardly a few feet away, not knowing what to do. And then I heard voices, other voices. I looked down the hall and saw our neighbors, the couple who'd been at the party, standing in their doorway, watching. They'd heard everything. More humiliation, more witnesses to my complete destruction. Jake finally spoke. I'll call you an Uber. I don't want an Uber, I said through my tears. I want my husband. I want to go back inside. He's not going to let you in, Jake said quietly. This is your fault, I said, turning on him. You gave me that dare. You started this whole thing. He looked at me with something like pity. You didn't have to do it. You could have said no. And then he walked away. Down the hall, down the stairs, gone, leaving me standing there alone with my suitcases, my photos in everyone's phones, my marriage destroyed, and nowhere to go. It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks of living with my friend Jessica, sleeping on her couch, trying to piece together what's left of my life. Ryan won't talk to me, won't answer my calls, won't respond to my texts. I've sent him hundreds of messages apologizing, explaining, begging for another chance. All ignored. His lawyer sent me papers. Separation papers. He's filing for divorce. I consulted with my own lawyer. She asked me what happened. I explained about the dare, about the photo, about his reaction. She just looked at me and said, You sent intimate photos of yourself to another man, and your husband has proof. You're not going to win this fight. I'd advise you to sign the papers and negotiate the best settlement you can. The photo has spread beyond just the people at the party. Someone, I don't know who, sent it to other people. Now it's in phones I didn't even know existed. I've had random people I barely know message me about it. My reputation is destroyed. My sister-in-law won't speak to me, says I disrespected her brother and embarrassed the whole family. Jake and Maya are done. She won't even look at him, and he blames me for ruining his relationship. All of my friends from the party have taken Ryan's side. Every single one. They all think what I did was wrong, that I crossed a line, that Ryan's reaction was justified. Even Jessica, who's letting me stay with her, has told me, I love you, but you really screwed up. I don't know what you were thinking. Nobody is on my side. Nobody understands. Nobody believes me when I say it was just a game, just a dare, just a mistake. But here's what I keep coming back to. The thing that makes me feel like maybe I'm not entirely in the wrong here. It was a dare, an actual dare given to me during an actual game. I didn't wake up that morning planning to send sexy photos to Jake. I didn't seek this out. I didn't initiate it. Someone else dared me to do it, and I went along with it because that's what you're supposed to do in Truth or Dare. Everyone has spicy pics on their phones. Everyone. It's normal. It's not like I created those photos specifically to send to Jake. They were already on my phone, taken months ago, just pictures I liked of myself. Using an existing photo is different from taking a new one specifically for someone else. And, yeah, maybe I should have refused the dare. Maybe I should have picked truth instead. But in the moment, with everyone watching, with people encouraging me, with alcohol in my system impairing my judgment, it seemed like the right thing to do. It seemed like refusing would make me look uptight and boring. What Ryan did was worse. Way worse. He violated my privacy. He spread my intimate photos to dozens of people without my consent. That's revenge porn. That's illegal in some states. But somehow he's the victim, and I'm the villain. He humiliated me way worse than I humiliated him. He destroyed my reputation. He made sure everyone we know saw me at my most vulnerable. He weaponized my own photos against me. I sent one photo to one person as part of a game. He sent that same photo to everyone we know as punishment. Those aren't equivalent. His reaction was disproportionate. My husband should have defended me, should have told everyone it was just a stupid dare and we'd work through it privately, should have supported me instead of destroying me. But he didn't. He chose humiliation. He chose revenge. He chose to make sure I suffered as much as possible. So, yeah, I made a mistake. But what he did in response? That was cruel. That was calculated. That was unforgivable. But late at night, lying on Jessica's couch staring at the ceiling, I have to face some uncomfortable truths. I didn't just send one photo. I went through my phone and picked the sexiest one, the most flattering one, the one where I looked the most attractive and desirable. I didn't just grab a random selfie. I curated it, and I added a winky emoji. And I told Jake not to show Ryan. Like it was a secret between us. Like it was something intimate and private that Ryan wasn't supposed to know about. That's not how you complete a dare in good faith. That's how you flirt. That's how you create intimacy with someone who isn't your spouse. And when I really think about it, when I'm completely honest with myself, part of me liked the attention. Liked knowing that Jake would see me that way. Liked the thrill of doing something a little bit forbidden, a little bit dangerous. I told myself it was just a dare, just a game, just harmless fun. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was me testing boundaries. Maybe it was me seeing how far I could push things. Maybe it was me enjoying male attention from someone other than my husband. And that photo, the one I sent, I'd taken it months ago. Why did I still have it on my phone? Why hadn't I deleted it? Was I keeping it for myself? Or was I keeping it in case I ever wanted to send it to someone? I don't want to answer that question. Ryan's moving on. Jessica told me she saw him at the gym with another woman. Just talking, nothing romantic yet, but the fact that he's out there living his life while I'm stuck on her couch is crushing. The photo is still out there. Will always be out there. Digital images don't die, they just spread. I'll never be able to take it back or delete it from existence. My reputation in our social circle is destroyed. I'm the woman who sent sexy photos to her husband's best friend during a party. That's how people will remember me. That's my legacy. And the worst part of me still thinks they all overreacted. Part of me still thinks it wasn't that bad. Part of me still wants to insist it was just a game and everyone needs to get over it. But then I think about how I'd feel if Ryan had sent a shirtless photo to my best friend. If he'd added a winky emoji. If he'd told her not to show me. And I know I'd be devastated, betrayed, humiliated. So maybe they're right. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I destroyed my own marriage over a dare that I should have refused. So here I am, 3 weeks after the worst night of my life, still trying to figure out how I became the villain in my own story. I sent spicy pics to his best friend because I lost at Truth or Dare. He sent them to our entire group chat. Everyone saw them. Everyone judged me. Everyone took his side. It was just a dare. Just a game. Just one mistake. But apparently, some mistakes you don't come back from. I didn't cheat. Nothing physical happened. It was just a photo. Just pixels on a screen. But to everyone else, to Ryan, to Jake, to Maya, to everyone at that party, it was betrayal. It was disrespect. It was me showing that I didn't value my marriage enough to refuse a dare that crossed obvious boundaries. I'll keep telling myself I was just playing along, just being fun, just showing I could handle a dare. Even though somewhere deep down, I know the truth. I picked that photo carefully. I added that emoji intentionally. I told Jake not to show Ryan because I knew it was wrong. I knew. The whole time, I knew. And I did it anyway. I sent my spicy pics to his best friend during Truth or Dare. He sent them to everyone we know. And now I'm living on a couch, single, humiliated, with everyone I know having seen me in my most private moment. Maybe I deserved it, but I'm not ready to admit that yet, because admitting that means accepting that I destroyed everything, that I chose a dare over my marriage, that I valued looking cool at a party more than I valued my husband's trust. And that's too painful to face. So I'll keep blaming Ryan, keep saying he overreacted, keep insisting it was just a game, even though we all know it wasn't. It was a choice. My choice. And now I'm living with the consequences.